And a radio operator saves a honeymoon and the lives of the honeymooning sailors marooned at sea. Matinee is safe and sound, headed to San Diego tonight under Coast Guard tow. The ship with 2 people aboard was drifting dangerously in the Pacific south of here. Dave Owen reports the rescue was made possible because a couple of alert ham operators spent the weekend coordinating Navy and Coast Guard efforts.
If you're out there, answer up, Susan. 388 Laguna Beach, Southern California, United States of America is calling and standing by.
Greg Howe admits he was showing off, trying to contact anyone in the South Pacific in front of friends, when suddenly the ham radio crackled with a faint signal from a ship in distress.
They're fully aware of that.
On his recording of the conversation, you can hear the voice of Susan Thomas, who was thought to be dead, lost at sea. A few days earlier, Greg's friend and fellow ham, Dean Slater, had heard from an operator in Tahiti that Susan and her husband Patrick had lost the mast on their 29-foot sailboat about 700 miles south of San Diego. But a Coast Guard search had failed to turn them up.
Our original last known estimated coordinates were approximately 600 miles west of the south tip of Baja, California. In reality, my antenna with the direction finding capabilities told me they were further south.
Greg says the woman was calm, hoping to drift to Hawaii and not realizing they were drifting into a southern current and stormy weather.
The Coast Guard called me and informed me what a serious situation this was and asked me if I could drop what I was doing, get back up on my radio and keep in touch with these guys until they had located them.
That really, if you hadn't have helped and hadn't contacted them, they may have died in the storm that was headed their way.
Apparently.
How do you feel about that?
Real good.
I think I lost sleep for a couple of days there. I didn't really, wasn't able to really sleep just thinking about these guys being out there. And I didn't think it was going to turn out so well. And when I finally found out that Greg had made contact, I was, overjoyed. I knew that this thing was going to have a happy ending.
The Coast Guard says it would really prefer to have sailors use the regular maritime frequencies, but admits that in occasions, sailors will find the ham radio more effective. From Laguna Beach, Dave Owen, News Center 39.
And the 2 ham operators say helping someone like this makes having all that equipment worthwhile. The 2 Laguna Beach men hope to meet the crippled sailing vessel when it is towed into San Diego. Finally made it to San Diego late today. They were stranded at sea after their sailboat was disabled by bad weather. They arrived late today and John Britton was there.
It's been 4 years since they sailed from France off to see the world. It's the kind of extended vacation most people dream about. But after leaving Cabo San Lucas on June 7th, heading for Seattle, Patrick and Susan Thomas ran into a storm that ripped the mast off the Grass Matinee. Stranded 500 miles from land, they finally got a distress signal through to a ham operator in Laguna Beach. 2 days later, the Venturous arrived, and the Coast Guard cutter has been towing them for the past 7 days. How you doing, Pat? Thomas and his bride were obviously happy to arrive off San Diego late this afternoon and be taken under tow by the local U.S. Coast Guard. For them, it's the end of an adventure they'd just as soon forget.
The sea was pretty rough, and we had a lot of hard work to do to get the sail up on board and get the mast lashed alongside. This isn't where we were planning on coming, but we're glad to be here now.
Were you scared, frightened at all?
No, I was angry. You don't have time to be frightened when you have a lot of work to do, and you think first of your boat and getting your boat safe and underway again.
J'aurais préféré. I would prefer Seattle with my mast, but San Diego is very nice. I saved my boat, and yes, it's okay.
I'm glad to be here, but we've got a lot of work ahead of us now to get the boat back in shape, so.
And what?
We want to go, well, we'd like to work in Seattle for a couple of years, make some more money, and then we're going to take off again.
From off San Diego, John Britton, News Center 39.
Nice work if you can get it. They do face a lot of work, as she says, but they hope to be underway again in a few weeks.
A very busy week for ham radio operators. In some cases, they are still the only link to several islands devastated by the storm. John Marshall has the story.
Amateur radio operators here in Northridge and across the country have spent a busy and sometimes dramatic week. Their ham rigs have been one of the few ways to get information in and out of the Eastern Caribbean.
Kilo Papa 388, Los Angeles, California. Bruce, are you on frequency?
30-year-old Greg Howe got only 3 hours sleep in the past 2 days. The rest of the time, he has been relaying messages for Southern Californians still concerned about relatives in the Virgin Islands.
555, are you on frequency? 388's calling.
His main contact on St. Croix has been amateur radio operator Bruce Brewster, who did not answer today.
Yeah, Michigan, if you hear them in there, be sure to let me know. It looks like we've got an open line down into the Virgin Islands, but so far I've yet to be able to raise them. I'm almost fearful that Luter's got his radio equipment.
Yesterday, Howe heard what amounted to a horror story from Brewster on St. Croix.
Bandits, just packs of them wielding machetes and guns, going around just basically running the streets, taking whatever they wanted, whom they wanted, taking over household belongings. Food, which was available, bandits were looting food. That was one of the key items, and he was very fearful of losing his food supply and or family life and belongings.
Federal agents and more than 1,000 U.S. soldiers are now on St. Croix. They have orders to shoot if necessary, to defend themselves and to restore order. John Marshall, Channel 4.
All week long, Annette Polian has tried to concentrate on her job as a marketing manager for a Culver City electronics firm, but it's hard to concentrate. Her thoughts are on her mother on St. Croix, where the hurricane did enormous damage. And these are the scenes of destruction she's seen of her home island, the flattened homes and businesses and airplanes. And she knows her mother is here somewhere.
Having to double and triple check myself to make sure that I didn't lose it, it's a little difficult to sit and wait. I want to make sure I tell her I love her.
With phone lines down on St. Croix, ham radio operators like Greg Howe of Northridge are the only way for Annette Polian to even try to communicate with the island.
Kilo Papa, 388, Los Angeles, California, calling.
And it's a very complicated communications link. From her office in Culver City to Howe's home to his radio to a ham operator on St. Croix.
She's a diabetic and requires daily insulin.
CQ Bruce, CQ Kilo Papa 555, St. Croix, station 388, Los Angeles, California, calling CQ and listening. Bruce, are you out there?
Howe was able to reach another ham in St. Croix. That's the first good news Annette Polian's had all week.
Okay, you said he's just a quarter mile from Side Farm Road?
A mile. He's very familiar with Side Farm Road.
Now, Annette Polian's a little more reassured, but she's going to have to wait even longer and pray more and try not to worry, because Red Cross volunteers on St. Croix won't be able to get to her mother's house before tomorrow morning. Chris Harris, Fox News.
Now, latest word from officials on the island is that it will be days before telephone...
The biggest fear at this point is afraid to leave the house for supplies just due to the fact that looters might come in and get his wife or who knows what. He
so
said
it's really quite violent, the looting.
Yeah, machete-armed groups, bandits, what have you, making their rounds, just grabbing anything they could.
Residents on St. Croix have also told how they are running out of food. They say looters have emptied all the grocery stores there.
And getting first-hand accounts of this morning's invasion has been very difficult, but there are some who've remained in contact with those now in Panama. Tony Valdez is standing by live in Northridge with a ham radio operator who's been monitoring the situation. Tony.
Janet, we are here with amateur radio operator Greg Howe, who has been on the radio all night talking to Central America and Panama. Because of the conditions right now, we're having some difficulty getting through. Greg's CQing, as they say, not having much success. If we can interrupt you, Greg, what are you hearing about the fighting and the situation in Panama City from your other radio operators?
Well, things have quieted down considerably versus last night. A little bit of law and order been restored to the streets. Communication in and out of Panama is very spotty. Last night was able to establish contact. Getting mixed reports as far as fighting still going on right now. It appears we're getting some type of jamming signal, thus preventing us making contact in and out of Panama.
That would be coming from whom?
I'm going to guess probably the Noriega government trying to prevent any communications in and out of the country It's really tough to speculate, but we are receiving quite a jamming signal out of there right now.
What kind of a sense do you have of what it's like to be a civilian in Panama City right now?
Mass chaos last night. Now that the U.S. troops are present, there's a feeling of goodwill, a little more secure, but still very tense situation down there.
And any anti-American sentiments or pro-American sentiments, for that matter?
Mixed reactions on the outlying areas, the jungle areas, obviously pro-Noriega from quite a few reports that I've got. Right in Panama City and the more civilized areas, yes, they're very pro-American. Glad to see our presence there and hoping that we can restore some kind of law and order and they can get back to business.
Greg, we will let you get back to business here, CQing on the amateur band there. For those of you who may have a shortwave receiver at home and you want to try and do some eavesdropping on the international bands, Greg is recommending the 10-meter band, the 20-meter band. Janet, that's the situation here in Northridge. We'll throw it back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Tony Valdez for that.
CQ Panama, CQ Panama, CQ
Desde las 2 de la madrugada, Greg Howard estuvo en comunicación radial con Panamá. Noté que todos mis colegas panameños con radio tenían miedo de transmitir, nos dijo Howard. Cuando dicen un momento, es porque militares están al acecho.
Aquí desde Los Ángeles, California, Estados Unidos, queremos saber cuál es la situación en Panamá. ¿A cambio?
Where the hell are they? Panama. In Panama. In Panama. Through most of the night. Let's see what we can eavesdrop on or something like that. You'll be over here. And I'll be playing back and forth between this. They'll say rap.
Okay, so basically we're going to look at him and his equipment. Okay, just bypass you. Okay.
And then when we get the rap signal, yes, ma'am.
You want any close-ups on the equipment? Just kind of a medium shot? And try not to get this in. This play right.
Try that again.
Okay, I can't read it. Okay. And when these lights are on, it's going to blow that LED on anyway.
Okay.
That's your number you don't want anybody to see. Yeah, that's my secret channel. Okay. Would you, as if you were going to operate it, let me see how you do it here. Should be just about like this. Okay. Good. Okay. This is station 388. I'm going to QSY to 27.450 for any possible contacts into Central America. This is station 388. QSY to 27.450 for any possible Panama or Central American stations. 388 QSY. Hello, CQ Central America or Panama, CQ Central America or Panama, Bravo Papa 388, Los Angeles, California, calling and standing by. Hello, CQ Panama or Central America, CQ Panama or Central America, Station 388, Los Angeles, California, calling CQ Panama or Central America.
Pammy, if you could take my level down just a little bit.
All right.
Yes, yes.
I thought I heard somebody. I'm going to try another direct call. Hello, CQ Panama or Central America?
We were with ham operator
Panama or
Greg
Central
Howe.
America.
Greg Howe, who's on the air all night talking to Panama and Central America.
Trying to establish
We're having some difficulty now because it's late on
any
Sunday.
operators
Getting through.
in Panama or Central America. This is Bravo Papa 388, Los Angeles, California, calling CQ Panama. It's standing by. Okay, QRZ station, QRZ, and what is your QTH? Bravo Papa, 388, Los Angeles, California, returning. We can go anytime. How much else are in the news?
Well, that is 2-3 months. They're saying now that we're in the C section, so we're looking at about 9:15. 9:15,
okay,
9:20. Okay.
CQ Panama or Central America? CQ Panama or Central?
Let's see, are we working on the 459.5 or something? Is that where they will talk to us? Or we're doing it on the phone? So we will be able to hear the control 2, or 3, or whatever they are. Okay. What are they now? Is it control 2 or control 3 or control 2?
50. Use Argentina as a go-between. Maybe these heard something. Okay, CQ Argentina, Bravo Papa 388, Los Angeles, California, calling. CQ Central America, CQ Central America, Bravo Papa 388, Los Angeles, California, calling. Beautiful Q5, Santiago 9 up here in California. The name here is Greg, Golf Romeo Echo Golf Golf. We are located up here in Los Angeles. Have you heard any information out of Panama or Central America? Back to you.
Okay, now I don't have information from Panama, okay? It's very good to see you now.
Okay. I'm trying to contact stations in Panama, so I'm going to say 73 is a beautiful signal. 5x9 peaks of 10 here in California. I appreciate the comeback just to let us know that conditions are in to this part of the world. But I am going to QSY to 27455 for any possible Central America or Panama contacts. Roger?
Why don't you power down?
This is low power. Are you getting any audio? That's a notorious
the woodpecker. Is that what the woodpecker sounds like?
No, the woodpecker's more of a woodpeck. It's more of a kind of sound. Very effective, I might add. I think I could probably talk through this, but whether or not, if they're really putting out like 1,000 watts of this down in Panama, there's no way any operator in Panama I'm going to break through this. But I'm hoping to get into some of the outlying areas, maybe into Costa Rica, and get word from these folks. I'm sure quite a few Panamanians are fleeing the country right now, just until things cool down.
Are you hearing the rendering? The commercial?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you had another.
No, we're both getting the same thing.
Okay. So when they tell you it's coming up, I'll hear it too.
Hi, Pammy. It sure would be nice if we heard from the control room. Well, gosh, because that's the way it's supposed to be done.
Q Panama. Hello, CQ Panama or Central America. Hello, CQ Panama or Central America. This is Whiskey Alpha, Bravo Papa.
Janet, we are here with amateur radio operator Greg Howe, who has been on the radio all night talking to Central America and Panama. Because of the conditions right now, we're having some difficulty getting through Greg's CQ, as they say.
Central America or
having
Panama.
much success.
Hello,
We can
CQ
interrupt
Panama,
you, Greg.
CQ Panama.
What are you hearing about the fighting and the situation in Panama City from your other radio operators?
Well, things have quieted down considerably versus last night. A little bit of law and order has been restored to the streets. Communication in and out of Panama is very spotty. Last night was able to establish contact. Getting mixed reports as far as fighting still going on right now. It appears we're getting some type of jamming signal that's preventing us making contact in and out of Panama.
And that would be coming from whom?
I'm going to guess probably the Noriega government trying to prevent any communications in and out of the country. It's really tough to speculate, but we are receiving quite a jamming signal out of there right now.
What kind of a sense do you have of what it's like to be a civilian in Panama City right now?
Mass chaos last night. Now that the U.S. troops are present, there's a feeling of goodwill, a little more secure, but still very tense situation down there.
And any anti-American sentiments or pro-American sentiments for that matter?
Mixed reactions on the outlying areas, the jungle areas, obviously pro-Noriega from quite a few reports that I've got right in Panama City and the more civilized areas. Yes, they're very pro-American. Glad to see our presence there and hoping that we can restore some kind of law and order and they can get back to business.
Greg, we will let you get back to business here, CQing on the amateur band there. For those of you who may have a shortwave receiver at home and you want to try and do some eavesdropping on the international bands, Greg is recommending the 10-meter band, the 20-meter band. Janet, that's the situation here in Northridge. We'll go back to
Los Angeles, California, calling CQ Panama over any Central America stations.
We're done.
Was it a good one?
It was good.
That was good, yeah.
Sorry I couldn't get you a better story, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to be on the radio. If I do make contact, I'll record it, and if you guys can plug that in a later segment, you know, do an audio overdub or something like that, maybe I can get you a good tasty bit of it.